Welcome back to Code Hive, the place where we make it work, make it right, and make it fast. So in the previous video, we looked at the different status codes that we have. Well, we just looked at a few really when we were returning a response of serializer.errors as well as over here in our post method. Right, so in this video, I just want to go through the different types of status codes that we have. Okay, so let me open up my notes. So the first one that we have is the 2xx success. So basically the xx just stands for, two more digits to come. So I just say 2xx. So basically the purpose of the 2xx codes, it means that the request was successfully received, understood, and accepted. So we have different examples really. We have 200 okay, we have 201 created, accepted, no content, as well as partial content. So if we go back to our example, we did use a 201 created the time when we were doing a post request for the book serializer. So if we come back over here and we look at the 201 created, it means that the request was successful and a new resource has been created. And then the other one that we looked at was when we were deleting. Right, so when we're deleting, we created a 204 no content. So if we come over here and we look at the no content, this means that the server successfully processed the request, but there is no content to return. Because if we come back over here, if we delete a specific record in our model, then what are we returning? Because we just deleted that object, we just deleted that row of data. Hence why we're returning a response of no content, because it has been deleted. Okay, so we have accepted, meaning that the request has been accepted for processing, but the processing is not yet complete. So basically these are the 200 status code. So these ones are for success. Okay, then the next one that we have is the 3xx. So this one is used for redirection. So in the views that we created, or in the methods that we created, we did not use a 300 status code, but these codes indicate that further action needs to be taken by the client to complete the request. So there are different types. So there's 301 moved permanently, 302 found, 303 see other, 304 not modified, 307 temporary redirect, 308 permanent redirect. So basically these are the 300 3xx redirection, right? So the see other means that the client should use a different URI to fetch the resource. 304 not modified, the cached version of the request resource is still valid, so the 300s are for redirection. So if we come over here, let's say we just do dot. Okay, so we can see all of them over here. So we also have the hundreds. So I did skip the hundreds because basically it's very rare to use the hundreds. I don't know, I think it's not commonly used, but just for knowledge wise, just so that you guys know, the 100 continue, it means that the initial part of a request has been received and has not yet been rejected by the server. Okay, then we have the 101, which is the switching protocols, meaning that the server is switching protocols as requested by the client. And then 102 is literally just to indicate that the server has received yes, the server has received and is processing the request, but no response is available yet. So we do have the hundreds, right? But mostly the ones that are used are the 200s and the 400s, if I'm really being honest. The 300s, the 100s, not so much, honestly. So basically that's the 300 redirection, which is the redirection. And then we have the 400. So these ones are mostly used. Basically these ones just show client errors, right? So these codes indicate an error due to the client side issues. So if something that the client did on the front end side or whatnot, that's the 400. I mean, usually when you search on Google and you type something and then you get an error 404 not found, that is client error, right? Something that you typed to indicate that it's not working, or the server could not find the requested resource, or stuff like that. So we have the 400 bad request, meaning that the server cannot process the request due to client error. Example, malformed request syntax. Then we have 401, which is unauthorized, forbidden, not found, method not allowed. So basically, method not allowed, you would be able to see it if, for example, you are creating a method like this, right? Oh, let me just undo that part. Okay, so let's say you're creating a delete, right? And then in the front end, instead of using delete, you call the same API, but then you just replace it with put or something. Then it will return that method not allowed. Okay, so basically that's method not allowed. Then there's gone too many requests. So in this example, we used the bad request, right? So the bad request indicating that the server cannot process the request due to client error. Okay, so again, we used it over here because if the serializer is not valid, it's something that the user inputted. It's something that we're getting from request.data, hence why it's a bad request and it's from the client. Okay, because there's something that the client inserted that is just not valid, hence why over here we return a response of a status code 400 bad request. Same goes with here, bad request, something to do with the client, hence why it's messing up with the serializer, hence why the request is a bad request. Okay, and then the other ones that we have is 500, which is the server errors. So basically these codes indicate that the server failed to fulfill a valid request. So maybe there was an internal server error or not implemented, bad gateway, service unavailable, gateway timeout, or HTTP version not supported. Okay, so normally the one that is normally used is the 500, which is the internal server. So if something just goes wrong, and then if you just go to your console.log or you go into your inspect on the browser, sometimes you would see that the error that's being returned is internal server not found. Okay, so basically those are the different HTTP status codes. So you would be able to use it over here when you're returning a response of status is equals to status dot whatever code that you want to return. So basically that's it for this video. I just wanted to show you guys the different status codes and go through a few of them and explain what we used over here in the previous video, just so that you guys are aware of that status code that was implemented on those methods. So basically that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope this video made sense. I hope you learned something. Please leave a comment in the comment section if you want to say something. Please hit the like button if you like this video, and if you're new to this channel, please subscribe to my channel.